Welcome to the Woes of Whitby, a 4-part original audio drama based on the classic novel Dracula by Bram Stoker. Episode 4, Reckoning.
I'm having trouble keeping my eyes open. There's only so much research we can humanly do tonight. Perhaps we should retire.
You may. I'll stay until Jonathan returns. There's still so much here for us to understand.
Look at yourself, Mina. You're absolutely exhausted. You're doing too much. You need rest.
I'm quite fine.
Oh, really? You need sleep if you're going to be any good to anyone. Please, let me walk you to your room.
All right. I suppose I can lie down for a few minutes.
I think you need a good bit more than that.
Don't push your luck.
Oh, I wouldn't dream of it.
I'm sorry. I'm so short-tempered with everyone as of late. It's just...
I know.
Of course. Thank you. Get some rest yourself, Arthur. Good night.
Good night. Who the heavens is that?
I can't be here. I can't be here. I can't be here.
What is the matter? Why are you shouting?
Please, good sir, you must let me out.
I think not. I'm not your doctor, and I am in no position to make that decision.
Sir, you must. I can't be here tonight. Please, grave things will happen.
I find that highly unlikely. The house is secure. Now, I suggest you quiet down, or I'll be forced to ask an orderly to sedate you.
Please.
Good night, sir.
Please. 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 Please.
They're not here!
Hold on, Jonathan. They most likely retired to the guest rooms.
Right. There's no sign of wrongdoing here. Though the tables look like an academic war zone.
Of course. All of these books and notes. They must have exhausted themselves doing research.
They are dedicated, but even the most tenacious must rest eventually. As should we. It's been a long day.
I, for one, cannot sleep. There is still so much we do not know.
Professor, you as much as the rest of us need sleep. Here, we are safe. Didn't you not say so yourself?
Of course. I will heed your advice. I just cannot help but feel uneasy.
Renfield? Renfield!
What happened?
Hold on, Renfield. Don't struggle. I've got you. I'm here.
Was it self-inflicted?
No. These wounds. Someone did this to him.
What is all this ruckus? Oh, heavens. But he was fine not an hour ago. I spoke to him.
He's here.
Who is here?
The Count.
Mr. Renfield, what do you mean? That monster isn't capable of coming inside.
He made me say the words.
What words?
Enter freely. I tried to stop him. I'm sorry. She was right. He didn't want me. He wanted...
Mina!
Follow Jonathan!
What about Renfield?
He's already dead.
Mina, Mina, Mina. You have such interesting thoughts in that lovely head of yours. Oh, trying to resist me now. How valiant and pointless.
Mina! Get away from her, you monster!
Careful now. We wouldn't want your brash actions to accidentally harm our beautiful Mina, would we, Jonathan?
Don't you dare speak her name!
But she is so beautiful. I should have chosen her from the start, instead of that sad wretch Lucy.
You leave Lucy out of this!
I was perfectly content to do just that. I set her free. I wasn't the one who so mercilessly drove a stake through her heart. Was it satisfying, Jack, to watch the woman who broke your heart have hers broken in return?
Don't. That's not right.
What about you, Quincy? Did you ever really care that much? Lucy was only a game, after all. A way to best your friends.
What?
Oh, poor Arthur. Always one step behind. I suppose you never knew your two dear friends tried to claim the woman you loved before you could get the nerve to tell her yourself. Look on the bright side. In the end, she chose you. Your significant wealth was too good to pass by.
No, it wasn't about money. Lucy loved me.
Are you sure? I took a peek inside her head. Such fascinating thoughts in there.
Don't listen to him, friends. He only seeks to disarm us. He knows we have him outnumbered, and that he is powerless against our crucifixes.
And yet they should listen to you. After all, Professor, only one of us here has been disgracefully cast out from university.
Cast out? What does he mean?
I believe it was on the grounds of insanity. Am I correct? How fitting that you should take up residency here, in an asylum.
Stop it! You're only taunting us, demon. We have you outnumbered. We have destroyed your home and your children. You are next.
My children? Those were not but puppets. Puppets that I grew tired of. I should thank you for doing my dirty work. I knew the moment you dispatched those annoyances. I don't just turn my thralls, I make them a part of me, forever in their minds. Just like our precious Mina here.
We will destroy you.
How delightful. You think you're the first man whose divine mission was to stop me? Your kind comes and goes like mayflies. I, on the other hand, am ageless, eternal. I cannot be bothered to give you my attention, and so I shall take my leave.
Mina!
He's gone. Just vanished.
How is Mina?
Alive. She seems to be asleep. He bit her. That monster bit her.
Let her sleep. She will need all her strength tomorrow.
How can we sleep now, knowing that monster can come at any time?
We'll all stay in here tonight, together. We keep watch. I'll take first shift.
I would like to take the first shift, actually.
No offense, Arthur, but I think this would be best left to Quincy.
Oh, like how Lucy would have been better left to Quincy, or to you.
That's not what I...
Let Quincy take first watch. It's not as if any of us will actually sleep this night. We're already living a nightmare.
Jack, I'm awake now. I can take over.
Thank you, but I'm quite fine.
About what was said last night.
You don't have to tell me anything. You don't owe me anything. I was only your student, after all.
I have always considered you a friend, Jack. And to a friend, I owe an explanation.
All right.
It was a few years back, when I had first been made aware of creatures such as the one we now face. I became terrified and obsessed. I believed the world needed to know, but I guess they were not ready. They barred me from the university, and for a time I was admitted to an asylum. Though, not one as pleasant as this one.
I don't think Mr. Renfield would have considered this place pleasant. He died here. Trapped. I trapped him here.
You were only doing what you thought best for him. You can't be faulted for that.
Perhaps. But I ignored the signs. Ignored what he was saying all this time. Of that, I am guilty.
He's here. The monster is here.
Mina, darling, shh. He's gone now. We know.
Jonathan?
Madame Mina, can you please tell us all that you remember of last night?
Give her a moment. She only just awoke.
Thank you, dear, but I am well enough to recount it. I was asleep, you see. Arthur had walked me to my room, and it was but moments later that my eyes were closed. And then I awoke, and it was dark, but I could feel a presence. At first I thought it to be Jonathan, but it was cold, and... He came towards me, and I could not move. It was as if I was frozen. He bit me, drank my blood. Then he forced me to drink his. It was horrid. My body was not my own. As I drank, it felt as if ice flowed through my veins. I could feel him. Not just his body, but his mind. Somewhere in my mind. And then he was gone.
Oh, Mina. I wish it had never happened. I wish I'd never gone to Transylvania.
But if you had not, someone else would have in your stead. Perhaps that someone wouldn't have been as brave of heart, and would have perished in that castle, never to return home to aid us.
Well, a whole lot of good that's done us. That monster's escaped. We have no clue as to where.
Or where the final coffin is.
Is this it, then? Have we come all this way, only to fail?
No! We will not falter. Not when our enemy is so close to defeat. We will find a way.
I may know of a way.
What do you mean?
Whatever it was that he did to me, it left a piece of him in my mind. I can feel him now as we speak. He was able to touch my thoughts and memories. Perhaps there is a way I can do the same to him. If only I knew how.
That is brilliant. Use the tools of our enemy against him.
But I don't know how.
I have a suggestion. If you will allow it, I could place you into a hypnotic trance. I am quite familiar with the technique. I have used it with many patients in the past. Perhaps it will allow your mind to expand.
You have my permission to try.
Are you sure? We don't understand any of this. What if it's dangerous?
It matters not. Right now, doing nothing is more dangerous. Once that demon had gotten to Lucy, she inevitably died and then turned into a thrall. Now that is happening to me, and there is no cure. Is there, Dr. Van Helsing?
Not that I am aware of. At least not while that monster yet lives.
Mina,
Shh, Jonathan, let us not dwell on our fears when there is still hope. I am ready.
Follow this watch with your eyes, and clear your mind of all thoughts. Focus on your breathing. Close your eyes. Think of how you felt last night when the Count's mind touched yours. Feel the sensation like a river. Find its course and follow it upstream. What do you see?
Nothing. I see nothing.
Focus. Follow it deeper.
There is nothing. I see nothing. I hear... Wait. There is something. I hear water lapping at the side of something. I hear footsteps overhead. A man shouting. It sounds like he's giving orders. I hear ropes and pulleys. Almost like...
A ship?
Yes, precisely. It's a ship. He's on a ship.
Why would he be on a ship?
He's running away. Jonathan was right. The Count is at a disadvantage and he knows it. He was stalling. And now he's turned tail and ran. The coward!
If that is so, we cannot let him escape.
Why not? Let that demon's vile shadow be gone from our lives.
Because of Mina. If we let him live, she will remain under his spell. She is not safe until he is destroyed.
I swear, Mina, we will not let you live under his curse a moment longer than you must. I, for one, will hunt that monster down to the edge of the earth. For Mina, for Renfield, and for Lucy.
Hear, hear.
I as well.
Quite so.
We're bound together now, Mina. All of us. For better or for worse. We're family.
Family.
It is strange to be back here. Transylvania, where my life was forever changed. Where I swore I would never return. I worry that if it were not for Mina's presence at my side, that the memory of it all might overwhelm me. But I cannot give in, for her sake. Through her link to the Count's mind, with the Professor's aid, we have been tracking him for the past week, hoping to gain ground and ambush the monster. But alas, unnatural occurrences have repeatedly slowed our progress. We could not catch him by port, though we gave every effort, and now it seems he has vanished. I find myself anxiously waiting, as my friends investigate the ship that carried our enemy to the shore, hoping against hope to find a clue. Mina and Arthur are tireless in their own research, but I have neither the mind nor patience for it. Instead, I pour out my thoughts onto the page, for when a man is at his wit's end, what else is there to do but wallow in his failures?
Jonathan, the other three are back.
I'm afraid we've only got bad news. All the hands hired to unload the coffin are stone cold dead. Our enemy knew he'd have to cover his tracks, and he's done just that.
With no one else who witnessed the unloading, we have no way of knowing what happened to the coffin. For all we know, the coward could be fleeing through the countryside on horseback.
Actually, he couldn't be.
What do you mean?
Remember his weaknesses? He is weakened during the day without his coffin. He is bound to it. Even on the fastest route to the castle, he couldn't have made it there before sunrise, meaning he can't be transporting the coffin on his own. He must have hired help and additional transport.
Which would mean either a stagecoach or riverboat.
Exactly.
But which?
Well, by disposing of the dockhands, the Count has made himself very clear in one regard. He doesn't want to risk people finding him. If he were to go by road, there would be checkpoints where the stagecoach would be searched. If it happened during daylight hours, he would be vulnerable. It's too big a risk.
By river, then?
I think so, yes. And I've checked the maps. There is only one river that provides a quick route into the Carpathian Mountains. The Sereth River. If he fears us following him, it would be his only choice.
Then we must assume that is the choice he made, and set out at once. Although, perhaps not as one party.
What do you mean?
I believe our enemy would expect us to track him on the water, and attempt to face him there. Although he is limited in powers, he can still control unnatural forces, and will doubtless use them against us. I think our surest chance is to come at him from 3 fronts. Jonathan and Arthur, you follow by boat. Quincy and Jack ride by horseback along the riverbank. Finally, Madame Mina and I will take a stagecoach to the castle and be there before him.
Is it safe to divide us?
Perhaps not, but it is the safest way to ensure our victory.
I agree. There's a risk, but we must take it. This could be our last chance to stop this monster.
Indeed. Let us make the arrangements and depart.
Mina?
Yes, dear?
This plan of action worries me. I don't want to be apart from you.
I know. I feel the same. But we must do this.
I know. Will you at least take this crucifix? I know you already carry one. This was given to me by a kindly innkeeper before my ordeal. I at first thought this was just a silly superstitious trinket, but I honestly believe it is what kept me alive in the castle. It's done more than just protect me from these monsters. I feel as if it has given me courage, hope. I pray it will do the same for you.
Oh, Jonathan, thank you. I will carry it and know you are with me, even while apart. No matter the distance, nor the size of the shadow that plagues us, I will come back to you, my love, as you came back to me. It was but a couple hours later when Dr. Van Helsing and I were on the train, the ruggedly beautiful country flying past us. There is dread in my heart, but with the doctor's help I stay focused, continuing to search through the unnatural link I share with our enemy's mind, praying for clues.
Quincy was quick in securing the strongest, fastest horses he could find. We mounted up, and before the sun began its descent, we had already left the small town behind us. It was a cold, horrid night, but we didn't take a moment for rest. We knew not a moment could be spared.
My knowledge of riverboating is limited, but Arthur appears to be a master of the art. He tends to our steam furnace like a mother tends to a sick child. By his guiding hand, we have made immense progress up the river, but still, there is no other boat in sight. I pray we did not miscalculate.
A day and a half into our journey, and we have left the comfort of the train car. Now we ride through the miserable cold via stagecoach. I rest under layers of furs and quilts to keep out the cold, but the real cold is in my heart, and I fear it. I have fastened Jonathan's crucifix next to my heart. I feel as if a part of him is with me now, and it warms me, as if I am being held in his arms.
At last we caught sight of another boat. Arthur pushed the steam furnace to full power, but ungodly fog descended over the river. Caught blind, we ran ashore. Thank the heavens we survived, however our boat was not as lucky. We will have to set on foot from here. The castle cannot be far now, but this loss may have cost us our only chance.
Our route took us away from the river's edge for a time, but this morning it brought us back, and brought us to our prey. Below us in the river lay a steamboat that we knew to be the one where our foe slept. We made plans to ambush it, but were set upon by wolves, a pack, crazed and snarling, an evil glow in their eyes. Quincy and I survived unharmed, but our horses paid the price. We can see the turrets of the castle in the distance, but I fear that on foot we may be too late.
The silhouette of Castle Dracula against the late evening sun was a sight imposing to behold. Sheer, dark walls and spiked turrets, a fitting domain for a soulless monster. The very sight of it made my skin cruel, any warmth in my heart seeping away. We dared not enter. We doused the main door in holy water and set out crucifixes. Now we can do naught but wait and pray. One way or another, through victory or defeat, this night is the last night I will spend in the shadow of the demon. In a twisted way, I find courage in that. For good or ill, a reckoning is coming. Doctor, what is it?
I cannot stand this waiting, not knowing the fate of our friends, not knowing when our enemy will arrive. I worry I may have miscalculated, Madame Mina, in dividing us.
Well, what's done is done. Now we can only pray.
I'm afraid blind faith has never been a strength of mine. I prefer that which I can see.
I gave myself easily to faith in the past, but after these few recent weeks, I admit it has been fleeting. Doctor, look, coming around the hill, those are not our friends.
This does not bode well. They carry a coffin. Stand ready, Madame Mina. It appears we may be the last line of defense.
Then let us stand firmly and give no ground.
Halt! We shall not let you pass.
Get out of our way, old man.
You cannot pass. What you carry must be destroyed.
You will not lay a finger on our master. Get out of the way, or we will force you.
We will fight you if you try.
Ha! We are not his blessed children. We are human. You think to come at us with only sticks and crosses?
I suggest you surrender.
Never!
Is that all you have? Mark yourselves lucky we have orders not to kill.
Go ahead then, for we will never...
Move an inch and you will lose your head. The sun is setting now, and in moments our master will awaken. He wishes to speak with you.
Mina!
Stand back or risk her life.
You cannot keep me from her!
Your time is up. We will not relent, and we shall defeat you.
With what? Do you all bring simple sticks to challenge us?
No, sir. I brought just what I needed. 1 bullet to get your attention and 5 more to put each of you scoundrels down if you don't let my friends go.
We still outnumber you.
You ever seen a gun before, bucko? You want to test my aim, boy? Drop the swords.
I suggest you listen to him.
Now, all of y'all step away from the big box.
Mina, are you alright?
Yes, we are fine. Jonathan, I'm ever so glad to see you. I had feared the worst.
Jack, pry the coffin open for me. Let's end this.
No! You cannot harm the master!
You stay right there, darling.
Are you ready, Arthur?
Ready.
Now!
What?
Too late. As usual.
Arthur!
You are all too late, mayflies.
No! I'll end you!
Pathetic. Is that the best you... Really? Bullets? You thought that would work on me?
Thought I might do something.
How humorous. Perhaps it's time I sire a son. You shall entertain me for the rest of your pitiful existence.
Sorry, but I ain't calling you Papa.
Quick, get the swords!
Oh, no, you don't.
What do we have here?
Go of me!
Your religious toys won't protect you from me.
No, give it back!
Enough of this! Let's see how good your aim is with a broken hand!
Leave them alone and face me.
Gladly. Call off your dogs, old man, or I will end you.
Go ahead, monster. You said it yourself. There will always be someone else to take my place.
And they shall face the same miserable fate as you.
Stop! I'm the one that you want.
Mina. I don't want you, for I already have you. You're my pretty little puppet.
No! Don't listen to him.
I'm afraid she can't hear you now. You see, she's mine.
Mina, please, listen to me. My love, I know you can hear me.
I told you there was no escape from me. No matter how far you ran, there was no hope. Now your defiance has only brought me your friends as well. All of you broken and kneeling beneath me. Imagine how disappointed Lucy would be in all of you.
That's where you're wrong. She would be proud.
Now, Jonathan!
It looks like you didn't spin your web as well as you thought, you arrogant sod!
Master! I suggest you all run before you follow his fate.
Did we win?
Arthur!
Hey, we got you. It'll be all right. We won.
Yes, I can feel that his influence has ended. It's all thanks to your bravery.
I'm glad.
Hold on, Arthur. We'll get you back. We'll fix you up.
I don't think so, old friend. Not this time. This was our last adventure. The three of us, and with new friends, new family.
Art,
It's all right. I'm happy. Maybe on the other side. Maybe Lucy's there.
I sure hope so, Art. I sure hope so.
She'd be proud of all of you. She'd be so proud. She'd...
It's been 7 years. 7 years to the day since the horror that was Count Dracula was defeated. Sometimes it feels impossible that it was so long ago, the horrors still fresh in my mind. And yet at other times it feels as if it must have been only a dream, as the comforts of my life help dull the memories. Like this evening did, with family gathered around our table.
Oh, I tell you, she sure is a real beauty. Our boy Jack here has done himself good hitching with her. She's smart as a whip. Jack tried to match her in a debate about the news, and she sure enough whooped his...
Quincy, please.
Beautiful, bright, and formidable in an argument. Why, Jack, I do believe you have a type.
That's what I told him. She near enough reminded me of dear old Lucy.
Well, I would very much like to meet her. It's a shame she couldn't make it tonight, Jack. Perhaps I could come for a visit soon.
We would love to have you stay with us, Professor.
Quincy, I've been meaning to ask you who it was I saw you escorting into the theater on Sunday evening.
Well, now, Jonathan, we're simply friends is all.
Simply friends? I don't believe I've ever seen a pair of friends look at each other in such a way.
Oh, do tell.
And I think that's my cue to skedaddle.
Already? It seems as if you just got here.
It's later than you think, and I got a train to catch in the morning.
I should also be getting on my way as well. I promised Samantha I wouldn't stay late tonight.
Alas, I must also take my leave. I have been neglecting to grade a rather large stack of essays.
Has it been going well, back at the university?
Quite well, and I owe it to you and your letter of recommendation.
Don't give it a second thought.
All right, you three, let me walk you out.
I'm telling you, Johnny, we're just friends, that's all. That's it. Well, Johnny, maybe you saw some other tall, handsome
Good night,
cowboy at the
Madame
theater with
Mina.
this girl you're
Thank
talking
you
about.
for having us.
Yeah, good night.
Of course, of course. Good night, my friends, and safe travels. I hold on to these moments and keep them in my heart to remind me of good things on the nights when I wake shivering and frightened. Often I find Jonathan awake as well, shivering despite the warmth of our bed, despite...
Mama?
Oh, you gave me a fright. Arthur Lucius Harker, you're supposed to be in bed.
I can't sleep.
Oh, sweetheart.
What's going on? Is everything all right?
Everything is fine, dear. Artie is having trouble sleeping, is all.
Yeah, me as well.
What's that, Mama?
My diary.
Are you writing stories?
Of a kind, yes.
Will you read them to me, Mama?
Not tonight, sweetheart.
But someday, Artie. Those are stories for when you're older.
What kinds of stories?
Stories about a brilliant and a beautiful woman, my best friend, and of a very brave man who loved her very much. They helped save the world, you know. You're named after the both of them, Artie.
Now, your mother left out her part in the story. She was the bravest and smartest of us all.
You were, Mama?
I assuredly was not.
She certainly was.
Can I write stories when I'm older?
Of course, sweetheart. And they will be amazing stories, just like their author.
But you'll have plenty of time for that in the morning. After all, every day's a story, whether it be happy or sad.
But I don't want to write sad stories.
No one ever wants to write a sad story. But sometimes those are the stories we need to write.
Indeed. But tonight is not the night, my little one. Come now, let's put you to bed. Tonight you can dream of all the happy stories you'll tell when the sun rises.
Thank you for listening to The Woes of Whitby. If you enjoyed this episode, please consider leaving us a review on iTunes, YouTube, or wherever you listen to this show, so that this tale of bravery is never forgotten. Every review counts. You can find more information on the show and its creators at joshuaspectorva.com. There you can also find links to our online stores to get your hands on your very own Woes of Whitby merch. Keep an eye out for our special Q&A episode coming out on Halloween, and be sure to tag a friend you think would enjoy the show, and use the hashtag Woes of Whitby raffle to be entered for the chance to win a free digital poster collection designed by our amazing artist, Wayne Spector. This episode was written by JMC Spector and edited and directed by Joshua Spector. A special thanks to our wonderful cast this episode: Elizabeth Plant as Mina Harker, Caleb Hughes as Jonathan Harker, Eurasian Rob as Jack Seward, Callum Perry as Abraham Van Helsing, Matt Cloutier as Arthur Holmwood, Trent Trachtenberg as Quincy Morris, Zachariah Hansen as Renfield, Francisco de Moore as Count Dracula, Joshua Spector as Servant Number 1, Gwen Morgan as Servant Number 2, JMC Spector as Servant Number 3, and Doobie as Artie Harker. We want to thank all of you for listening to The Woes of Whitby, and hope you enjoyed our finale. However, this is far from the end. We have more stories to tell. And remember, friends, don't go out at night.